This summer, we've been playing Where's the Cup? Tonight, we play Where's the Captain? What's up? Mike Stein with Mark Shanowski. I am Pat Boyle. This is SportsNet Central, presented by GMC.
As the trade deadline approaches, it's a very familiar line of questioning for Jeff Samardzija.
You know, if the deadline comes down the road, then you see where you're at.
At Wrigley, the Cubs look to turn the page after getting swept, and Mr. No-No is no longer a reality.
It's a crappy weekend. We all have to wear it.
It's another kid-friendly edition of SportsNet Central, starting now.
To SportsNet Central, presented by GMC.
With the trade deadline Friday, Jed and Theo continue to work the phones while the team looks to rebound from getting swept by the Phillies over the weekend. Another last-place team in town on this night. First to three against the Rockies. Cubs began the night 2.5 out of the wild card spot. Kyle Hendricks on the bump, scoreless in the fourth. Carlos Gonzalez with a man on. Goes opposite field, a two-run shot. His sixth homer in his last five. Hendricks allowed 4 runs in 5+. It was 4-0 Colorado in the fourth. 2 men on for Chris Bryant. Gets the first hit off of Jorge De La Rosa. Dexter Fowler comes in to score and is now a 4-1 contest. Later inning, bases loaded for Jorge Soler. He slices one into right. Cubs score another, pull within 2. Later in the same inning, it's now 4-3 with 1 out. Slumping Starlin Castro finds some daylight to the left side. That scores 2. Cubs take a 5-4 advantage. They weren't done in that 4. Addison Russell, 2 batters later, sends one to the left field corner. The Cubs plate 6 runs in that 4th inning after scoring just 8 over the weekend against the Phillies. It's 6-4. Northsiders after 4. Top of the 7th, 7-4 now. Troy Tulowitzki. Grounder up the middle. Addison Russell. Great diving stop. Gets up and fires to get Tulowitzki. Take another look at this. Lays out, and he just bounces up to the turf. One motion, the one hopper to Rizzo. Gets Tulowitzki easily at first. 9th inning. Jason Mott in to close it out. Pinch hitter Daniel Descalso. Rutro. Solo shot there. After Mott allowed another 2 hits, it's Rafael Soriano entering. Cubs lead down to a run. Tying run 90 feet away. Cargo for the 2nd time in the game. The Rockies with 4 runs in the 9th to take the lead. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs and a man on for Chris Bryant.
High deep drive, way back. Ball game over. Cubs win. Cubs win. Oh, baby, Chris Bryant.
Great call from Len Casper here on Comcast Sports at Bryant with the walk-off of John Axford. The Cubs win a wild one. 9-8, snapping that 3-game skid.
Wow, is that huge.
I mean, the last 3 or 4 games, I think I've hit 5 or 6 out to the warning track, and that's obviously frustrating, but I believe in baseball gods, and I believe they pay you back, and I guess I got one today, so worked out for us. It was a really good win, that's for sure.
You're always looking for those signs. I love the fight. I love the fact we played 9 innings, again, completely giving up 4 in the top of the 9th. This can be devastating to most everybody, but our guys kept fighting. The base hit by Fowler was huge, obviously. Rossi hits the ball great, not far enough, and then KB hits a breaking ball homer. So what can I say? I mean, just, you know, we've given some of those things away. We almost gave one away again tonight. We grabbed their back. Moving along.
I think it kind of just wakes us up a little bit. I think we were kind of nonchalant the last couple games, myself included, but that energy of a walk-off, win, walk-off home run, I think that's going to pay, for us moving forward and just kind of spark that energy that we had earlier in the year.
So after blowing that 3-run lead in the 9th, it's the rookie Chris Bryant to the rescue in the bottom half. His 2-run game-winning homer, the first walk-off of his young career. It was the Cubs' 10th walk-off of the season that tops the majors in that department. Here's Todd Hollandsworth after the wild 9th inning.
It never seems like it's easy. I mean, that's the one thing about baseball. When your team is down on your luck, you're trying to get your way back. It just never seems easy. Even when we had the 3-run cushion late in that ball game, I mean, there's just a sense. It just doesn't always go as planned. And we had the big inning. We set the stage. The bullpen gives it back. But, again, this team has so much fight in it. These young guys are learning so much through this season. It's so great to see Chris Bryant, starting to swing, starting to kind of come back around again. Gets 2 sliders right there, jumps on the second one, gives us the game winner. It's a big moment for these guys, and they're starting to figure some things out, this group. Love the big inning. Love the fact that they never quit and battle back. Great win tonight.
We're just getting started with our Cubs coverage. We're going to take you to midnight. We'll head live to Wrigley after Bryant delivers his first career walk-off.
Now to the White Sox, and it sounds like the team really isn't all that close to a trade involving Jeff Samardzija. Robin Ventura told reporters before tonight's game the 30-year-old free agent will make his scheduled start tomorrow night in Boston. Sox GM Rick Hahn is still exploring the market for some of his veteran players ahead of Friday afternoon's non-waiver deadline. And with the Sox riding a winning streak right now, that puts Samardzija in a rather awkward position.
Each front office of every team, they have an idea of how they feel it's going. Sometimes the record doesn't totally show the situation of the team. So, I'm sure they assess that within amongst themselves and then go from there. So, all we can do is show up and play every day. We love how we've been playing. A little road trip here was against an Indians team. That was down a little bit on offense with some injuries, and then obviously everyone knows the status of this Boston team. So we need to come in and handle our business, and then when that comes, the deadline comes down the road, then you see where you're at.
Now to the action at Fenway Park tonight. White Sox hitters picking up right where they left off in Cleveland. Adam Eaton back in the lineup after a day off. He starts the game with a bang, a triple off the green monster in left field. And then on the very next pitch, Tyler Saladino with a shot down the first base line. That will also be good for a triple. First time since 1954, the Sox top 2 hitters started a game with triples. So quickly 1-0 good guys. Melky Cabrera keeps the hit parade going. He doubles to left center. That brings home Saladino. Sox put up a 4-run spot in the inning off Kelly. But unfortunately, John Danks would give those runs right back. 4-3 in the second inning. Mookie Betts with a drive, and that's going to bang off the green monster. A run crosses the plate just like that. We're all even. New game tied at 4. Jump ahead to the 5th inning. Now tied at 6. Ryan Hannigan with a chopper that should have been in the inning. But Saladino with a bad throw. That's his second error of the night. A run would score on the play, so it's now 7-6 in favor of the home team. Top of the 6th inning now after a double by Carlos Sanchez. Adam Eaton at the dish, and he'll follow it up with an opposite field double of his own into the gap in left center. Sanchez scores easily. We're tied again at 7. We move ahead to the 7th inning, and the Sox offense keeps rolling. Tyler Flowers lines one back up the middle for a base hit. J.B. Shuck will come around to score, and the Sox regain the lead at 8-7.
Sox lead it 8-7.
A couple of batters later, it's Eaton with another chance. Again, he goes opposite field, lines it down the third base line off the grandstand. Flowers scores. Eaton thrown out at second going for a double, but it's a 9-7 game. Eaton now just a home run shy of the cycle. Top of the 9th, Sox would rally to get Eaton another chance. Here's a shot for the cycle, but he's froze on that pitch right there. Strikes out looking to end the inning. Boston would pick up a run in the 9th, but the Sox hang on to win it 10-8. David Robertson earning his 22nd save. The Sox offense with the season-high 9 extra base hits. That will get the job done. Let's check out tonight's Country Financial top performers, all from tonight's game at Fenway Park. We showed you Adam Eaton's big night. 3 for 6, a double, triple, 2 runs batted in. Melky Cabrera had his 5th straight multi-hit game. That's a new career best. He went 2 for 5, a couple doubles and an RBI. Jose Abreu 2 for 3 with an RBI, a walk, and 2 runs scored. Here's Belton Bill Melton after the Sox' 5th straight victory.
I think it really has a lot to do with the way the American League is breaking down, more so. And, of course, the White Sox winning and starting to hit now. This is what we expected from the beginning. Yeah. But the way the rest of the American League is playing, you talk about the wild card, and we're not far. We're maybe 5 back, something like that. But we don't have that many teams to leap over. And the ones we do aren't playing very well. Detroit would be one. You talked about Minnesota. Yeah. So you're right. This is something where they can get involved in this pretty quick.
We'll hear from Adam Eaton a little bit later on. More reaction to that White Sox victory in Boston. Bears enjoying their last couple nights off before reporting to Bourbonnais Wednesday. Then they hold their first non-pad practice Thursday morning just after 9:30. Time to play a little fact or fiction Bears style. From The Score and WBBM, sideline reporter Zach Zaidman, and from WGN Radio, Adam Hogue. Fact or fiction, guys, Jay Cutler will commit the fewest turnovers in his career this season under Fox and Gase.
Fact, if you're talking about a 16-game season. I just don't think there's going to be an opportunity for Jay Cutler to put the ball in the air as much as he has the last couple of seasons. I think the offense is going to be a lot more balanced, and I think that when you talk about what Adam Gase brings to this Bears program, it's all about the ability to maximize what you have as offensive personnel. And because you have Matt Forte, Kevin White, Martellus Bennett, Alshon Jeffrey, and Eddie Royal, I just don't think you're going to see the craziness that we saw last season with the Bears.
Yeah, I agree with Zach. I think this is fact, and I think it's for a lot of the same reasons he said. I mean, there's going to be a lot more protection built in for Jay Cutler into this offense, and I don't mean necessarily just the offensive line. I'm just talking about the way the plays will be called and the way this offense will be run, and given the options he has. I think the idea here is kind of what the Cowboys did last year with Tony Romo. I don't know if that success will be replicated, but I think that's the general idea.
All right, fact or fiction, this will be Matt Forte's final season with the Bears.
Fact. You have to think that any time a running back hits 30, no matter how good he is, almost always those running backs are let go, especially in this new NFL. Matt Forte is going to be a rich man at the end of the season because of somebody else. I don't necessarily think it's going to be because of the Bears.
Yeah, I think fact two. I don't necessarily think it's the smartest thing for the Bears. I think it would have been a good idea to maybe lock him up for another 2 years if that's possible. I don't really know what Matt Forte's seeking there, but I think it's going to be another successful season for Matt Forte, and I think with a new regime here and the age that he's at, I think chances are Matt Forte is moving on, and this will be his last season.
Fact or fiction, the Bears will have more than 7 victories when it's all said and done this season.
Fiction. I don't think that you can make that dramatic an improvement considering you can't fix everything that was wrong with the Bears last season, and you're still in a division with Aaron Rodgers. The Bears have proven that they have a very difficult time beating the Packers. Minnesota is an ascending team, and they get one of the best offensive players in football back. And you're talking about year 2 in the system in Detroit under Jim Caldwell. Going to be very difficult for the Bears to take that next step.
I say fiction too, and that's because I think it's going to be a 7-9 season. I think they hit that 7 wins right on the dot. Look, I think the new coaching staff is worth at least 2 wins. This is a team that still won 5 games last year, and really, if you look at how bad things got, that's kind of a miracle they won 5 games last season. So that tells me the talent is still there, especially offensively, to win some football games. I think the new coaching staff helps a little bit. They at least get to 7 wins, but I'm thinking it's going to be right around 7-9.
Our thanks to Adam Hogue and Zach Zaidman. We'll talk to you guys in Bourbonnais. We are still waiting for resolution.
The Blackhawks might be closer to re-signing one of their top penalty killers. And you always have to be ready for a selfie. We'll show you where fans found the captain, Jonathan Taves, vacationing today. Jeff Samardzija has been through this trade deadline routine before. You can bet there will be plenty of scouts watching his start at Fenway Park tomorrow. And Taylor Swift and Houston resolved a potential scheduling problem. Up next, the story of how the pop star cleared the way for the Astros to play some postseason baseball.
SportsNet Central on Comcast SportsNet is presented to you by GMC. We are professional grade.
A pitcher who can paint the corners is known as a Rembrandt. At GMC, we get why people love that kind of precision. After all, in everything we build, that's exactly what we deliver. This is precision. This is GMC. Now pay no interest for 5 years, plus get $2,000 purchase cash on 2015 Sierra SLT models.
Rattle, rattle, thunder, clatter, boom, boom, boom.
Want to save money? No worries. Go to the man, the CarX Man, and save $25 on any auto service or repair. $25 at CarX Tire and Auto.
Don't worry, call the CarX Man. How's he going up there?
I need more time.
You only get a handful of minutes to start a new life.
We gotta go!
Keep looking, it's gotta be here!
He's coming!
so you grab what you need to get you through.
Oh, there it is.
I'm gonna go have our baby now.
I'm so nervous.
This is a great place to work, not because they have yoga meetings in a juice bar, because they're getting Comcast Business Internet. Comcast Business offers convenient installation appointments that work around your schedule, and it takes about an hour.
Get reliable internet that's up to 5 times faster than DSL from the phone company. Call 800-501-6000 to switch today.
Perks are nice, but the best thing you can give your business is Comcast Business.
Comcast Business, built for business.
Tomorrow night, New England's buzzing as our Sox and their Sox square off under Fenway's fabled lights. Tune in from home and don't miss every hit, homer, and highlight. White Sox versus Red Sox, starting at 6 on CSN.
It's a golden opportunity to discover the leading-edge connectivity of the Lexus ES. With available technology to help you find just what you're looking for. Come in to the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event, where you'll find some of the best offers of the year on our most luxurious models. Lease the 2015 ES350 for $349 a month for 36 months, and we'll make your first month's payment. See your Lexus dealer.
High, deep drive, way back. Ball game over. Cubs win. Cubs win. Oh, baby, Chris Bryant.
Oh, baby, indeed. Chris Bryant batting under 200 for the month of July, but he came through with his biggest hit in the majors, that 2-out, 2-run blast off John Axford in the bottom of the 9th inning. Players come pouring out of the dugout as the Cubs win it in walk-off fashion 9-8. Our Kelly Krull caught up with the hero of the night moments after his game-winning blast.
Wow, Chris, what an up-and-down game, up and down. The 1-0 pitch there at the end, what were you looking for?
Just a pitch I could hit in the air.
Yeah, the first of many, absolutely. Well, just the emotions right now after the weekend you guys have had to come back here and get this win tonight.
Yeah, I mean, going into the last inning there, we thought we had the W. Got to give credit to them. They had some really good at-bats. But we never quit on this team. I mean, we believe every game that we can go out there and win, and we did that today.
With more on that wild, wet, crazy 9th inning and Chris Bryant's heroics, Kelly Krull has your press pass. Wild ride in that last inning. It ends up with the Gatorade shower, and it looks like you're going to have to start bringing a raincoat to the park because you had to dodge the Gatorade bath, and now they've got the sprinklers on behind you there.
Yeah, it's been quite an evening, all kinds of surprises, but certainly for Chris Bryant, this was a very special evening, his first ever walk-off home run, and I'm pretty sure he said something to the effect of, I've had 5 or 6 well-hit balls this week going all the way back to the warning track. I do believe in the baseball gods, and they paid me back tonight. So certainly helping his team win one tonight, and it was just a shot in the arm that they needed after this past weekend being swept by the Phillies, but it looks like things might be turning around thanks to Chris Bryant.
It's got to be one of the best feelings in sports. You know, I've had a couple of those in my career, but they were both in college. One last year, but to do it on this stage in front of the fans here in Chicago, and for myself, obviously, I've been struggling a little bit, but I'm never going to give up. I always go out there, work as hard as I can, you know that it's going to turn around, and it did today.
It's such a flip in the standings and where you're at and what you're thinking mentally. It's all of that stuff. Those are the kind of losses late. When you're losing games late, that's the most difficult to recapture or get back from that particular moment within a clubhouse. And the fact that we could take one back really is going to, everybody's going to walk in feeling a whole lot better tomorrow. It's a crazy game that we play. So we've given it away. We've taken some away. There's another one.
And before the game, as you can imagine, all the talk still about what might be done, the moving and shaking before Friday afternoon, the deadline. Theo Epstein talked about the possibility of still making a big splash and the likelihood of acquiring one of the best arms available. You know, that guy who just threw the no-hitter here at Wrigley Field on Saturday, Cole Hamels.
If we do something on the bigger end, it'll involve players who help us beyond this year. If we do something on the smaller side, it'll probably be more for a rental player. And if we do nothing, it'll be because we couldn't find anything rational that we could actually do. So I don't know which of those three directions it'll go yet.
Certainly a lot of speculation out there as to what could happen. A lot of names being thrown around, tied to the Cubs. But I spoke with Anthony Rizzo before the game, and he's one of the guys who said, you can read into all that stuff or you can just leave it be and see what happens. And that's the route that I think most of these guys in the clubhouse are going. But it would be a shot in the arm to see a new face here in the clubhouse, I think. But Chris Bryant providing the energy and excitement this evening. And good news, Pat, the sprinklers now just went off, so just in time.
All right, Kelly, nice job tonight. Dry off. We'll look forward to your full report coming up at the top of the hour. We'll have game 2 of this series between the Cubs and the Rockies tomorrow evening. Dallas Beeler will make his 3rd big league start. His previous 2 starts, he's given up 5 earned on 10 hits in 7 innings. Cubs pregame live sets the table on CSN Plus at 6:30.
And now this developing story regarding Friday's Major League trade deadline. 3-time All-Star shortstop Starlin Castro might be on the move before that deadline. According to multiple reports tonight, the Cubs and Padres have discussed a variety of possible trades, with 28-year-old starting pitcher Tyson Ross being the Cubs' primary target. Ross is 6-8 this season for the underachieving Padres, but he does have a 3.45 earned run average with 132 strikeouts in 122 innings. Castro, as we all know, has struggled mightily this season.
The saucer pass to deep, high slot. He shoots one of my safety. Falls over the net. Score! Duck and deep! The Hawks take a 1-0 lead on the Lightning. And Saad escapes with a puck over the Lightning line left wing. Drop pass Richard. Closes in. Put him across. He scores! It's Patrick Kane with his first goal in the final. It's 2-0 Hawks with 5:14 left in the 3rd. And this crowd can smell it. For the 3rd time in 6 seasons, it's 1 goal achieved. The Chicago Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup.
We know they're must-see TV here in Chicago, but NBC also realizes the popularity of the Blackhawks. That's why they'll appear the maximum 12 times on the NBC family of networks next season, which includes the opener on October 7th versus the Rangers. The Stanley Cup banner raising ceremony and game will be seen on NBCSN. And we hope to see Marcus Kruger in a Blackhawks sweater on banner-raising night. Stan Bowman has been trying to re-sign the 4th-line center and penalty kill specialist. Scott Powers reports Kruger's willing to take a short-term deal if the Hawks don't have the cap space for a long-term contract. Hawks are really close to that cap right now. They will likely have to move a player or 2 before they can re-sign Kruger. I know you were wondering, where in the world is that cup tonight? Well, it made the trek back from Finland over the weekend to the United States. Patrick Sharp had it yesterday in his wife's home state of Connecticut. Brad Richards and his son Luca and Brad's wife picked up the cup in Rhode Island. Then they flew to Richards' home province of Prince Edward Island today. Richards is a wine connoisseur, so there's a good chance there's an expensive cab in that cup on this night. You think Blackhawks captain Jonathan Toews could go hiking in Peru and not get recognized? Not a chance. Oswego's Ryan Adorjan was hiking at one of the 7 wonders of the world, ruins of Machu Picchu, when he spotted his favorite hockey player, Toews. Adorjan, who was there studying, said Toews suggested that the group take a picture with the ruins in the background, give the captain another assist.
Yeah, thank goodness for camera phones, otherwise no one would ever believe that story. Well, it sounds like the Houston Astros are counting on making it to baseball's postseason party this fall. You see, they've changed the date on a scheduled Taylor Swift concert at Minute Maid Park, originally scheduled for October 13th. Now will be held on September 9th. The Astros, in a prepared statement, said they made the change to, quote, proactively prepare for potential postseason play. That's a lot of P's in a prepared statement. Time for tonight's GMC professional grade player. Could have gone with Chris Bryant, but instead we're going with Spanky. Adam Eaton, the White Sox center fielder, a great night at the plate. 3 for 6 with a double, triple, 2 runs batted in, and a run scored. Eaton now riding a 5-game hitting streak, which just happens to coincide with the White Sox 5-game winning streak.
You know, scored, 10 and 11 the last 2 days or so. You know, coming out and getting some hits. You know, Melky's getting hot. A lot of guys are starting to swing the bats well, hitting the ball hard. And we're catching some more breaks. I think early on we haven't really we didn't catch any breaks early on. And, you know, now we're starting to find holes you know, starting to drive some guys in with 2 outs. So it's been good the last couple, really week and a half or so.
Yes, Adam Eaton, the straw that stirs the drink. Earlier we asked, which team will Jeff Samardzija be pitching for at week's end? Side League says Shark should probably get his passport ready. Toronto has the offense, just needs some help on the mound. And as we know, the Blue Jays have been one of the most aggressive teams in trying to trade for Samardzija. Brad says he's staying home with us. We're winning the wild card. Gotta love the optimism. Here's our Sox insider Dan Hayes on the team's strategy for the upcoming trade deadline.
Before Monday's game, Adam Eaton said that the White Sox were hoping to give Rick Hahn a few more white hairs, and Monday's 10-8 victory over the Red Sox probably added a few more. Winners of 5 straight, the White Sox are playing arguably their best baseball this season with the trade deadline approaching. The deadline arrives on Friday, and a report tonight surfaced that said that Hahn is considering holding off for a few more days on a decision on Jeff Samardzija. Samardzija said that's good news before the game, likes how the team is playing, and says that their 47-50 record is a little bit deceiving and that the White Sox love how they're playing right now.
Dan Hayes channeling his inner cousin Sal. Sox began the night 5 games out of the final wild card spot in the American League. Let's take a look at the race for the 2 mulligans in the AL, shall we? Braves at the Orioles. Baltimore entered action 3.5 out. Scoreless game in the 9th. Adonis Garcia taking Orioles closer Zach Britton to the people, to Boog's Barbecue and right. Braves up 1-0 in the bottom half with runners on the corners. J.J. Hardy, good day, lines to left. Adam Jones tags and beats the throw. So we're tied at 1. We go to extras. Leading off the bottom of the 11th, Matt Wieters crushing one. We got another walk-off. Orioles take it 2-1. Here's your final.
Thought Matt Wieters could be available in trade. How about the Yankees taking on the Rangers down in Arlington? The AL East leaders were trailing this game 2-0 in the 3rd, but that's when Didi Gregorius changes it all with one swing of the bat, takes Matt Harrison deep and out to right field. 2-run jack ties the game. Now to the 6th inning. Yankees in front 3-2. Alex Rodriguez turned 40 today, and he celebrates in style an opposite field blast. Home run number 24 for A-Rod, who's having an amazing year after being out of baseball last season. Top of the 7th, more from Gregorius. Base hit to right, 2 more runs across the plate. Yankees will go on to win it by a final score of 6-2.
Tigers and Rays at the Trop. Miguel Cabrera getting in some batting practice, trying to work back from that calf strain. Detroit still missing his bat. Bottom 3rd, no score. Kurt Casale taking Anibal Sanchez for a ride, putting the Rays up 1-0. Bottom of the 8th, Tampa up 3-2. Casale, in the words of Gordon Gekko, greed is good, greed is right, greed works. Gone for Casale. The Rays go on to win it 5-2.
All right, so let's take a look at the up-to-the-minute wild card standings in the American League. The White Sox doing some moving tonight. They pull into a virtual tie with the Tigers, who've suddenly gone haywire. They've lost 7 of their last 10. Sox are 4.5 behind idle Minnesota for that 2nd wild card spot, but they do have the Orioles, Rays, and Blue Jays in front of them at the moment, but over 2 months of baseball to play. Now the smooth transition to basketball. The Chicago Sky finally made a roster move to accommodate their former All-Star center Sylvia Fowles. Fowles had been sitting out the current season, demanding a trade. Today she finally got her wish. She'll be joining the Minnesota Lynx in a 3-way deal that also involved the Atlanta Dream. What do the Sky get back? Well, they get 6'5" center Erica D'Souza, a 3-time All-Star. The 10-year vet was averaging 9 points, 8 rebounds a game for Atlanta. So many great plays from coast to coast, but when it comes to the best, of course, there can be only one. Top plays are next as we wrap up SportsNet Central. But first, it's time for our Great Clips Download of the Week. This week features a high school baseball player's rather unique warm-up routine. This Japanese teenager has an awesomely absurd pre-at-bat routine. Anybody who can control the bat like that has got to be dangerous at the dish. We can only imagine how that would go over stateside. Anything for a base hit.
Who's ready to have a baby? Buster Posey.
You're not my doctor.
Come on, I'm sort of your doctor. I mean, we both wear gloves, and we always deliver in the clutch. Gloves? Clutch.
No, I'm sorry.
Perhaps we take a vote?
No.
Okay, guys, are we gonna do this or not? Let him try.
No.
Sorta you isn't you. Honey, you're embarrassing me in front of Buster Posey.
Esurance helps make sure you only pay for what's right for you, not someone sorta like you. Esurance, official sponsor of Major League Baseball.
White Sox fans, summer is finally here, and your Sox have some great promotions for you. Grab your cowboy hat and boots and join us for Country Music Night on Friday, July 31st. Dust off your blue suede shoes and don't miss Elvis Night on Friday, August 28th. Show your Irish pride and dress green for halfway to St. Patrick's Day on Saturday, September 12th. Great seats are available starting at only $20. Visit whitesox.com/summer today.
Now here's a factoid for you. Nissan just redesigned two of their best-selling vehicles, the stylish Murano and the sporty Maxima. I'm Bob Rorman, and I deal in facts and new Nissan.
Right now, get no-nonsense leasing with Cook County taxes included on a new 2015 Murano and pay just $299 a month.
Bob Rorman. Bob Rorman's Arlington Nissan, just east of Route 53 on Dundee Road.
Tomorrow, the Northsiders square off with Colorado in a Game 2 tug-of-war. But first, join us at 6:30 for Cubs pregame live, presented by Fields Auto, followed by Cubs versus Rockies, tomorrow night on CSN+. CSN Chicago is giving away 2 behind-the-scenes experiences on the North Side, including a visit to the broadcast truck and booth before a game. For your chance to win, visit csnchicago.com/Northside. This sweepstakes is brought to you by the Chicago North Agency of Country Financial.
Capman, ever-changing prediction of Bears wins next season. First he was at 6, and then 5, now he's at 4.
Yeah.
That's whack, bro.
Yeah. Cap, not listening to me at the beginning of the show. That's whack, bro.
Cap and Hall, weekdays 9 to noon, presented by Horwitz and Associates. Tomorrow night, New England's buzzing as our Sox and their Sox square off under Fenway's fabled lights. Tune in from home and don't miss every hit, homer, and highlight. White Sox versus Red Sox, starting at 6 on CSN.
What's in the bag? Lunch. Big Mac, fries. Play for it. You and me for my Big Mac. First one to miss, what does the winner eat? No dunking. Which me? Get in there. To the window, off the wall, nothing but net.
What you want is what you get, and the God of the day.
Off the expressway, over the river, off the billboard, through the window, off the wall, nothing but net.
Ah, yes, that television staple from the late 80s or maybe the early 90s. Michael Jordan, Larry Bird staging their fictional game of one-on-one in commercial spots for McDonald's at the old Chicago Stadium. Bird, as you know, was forced to retire early because of back trouble, while MJ dealt with knee issues late in his career. So Larry Legend was asked, what might a one-on-one game between these two 50-something stars look like today?
A one-on-one with Jordan.
Yep.
God, I hate to admit this, but he'd kill me.
I don't know if I honestly believe that, but...
Dan, I'm 40 pounds more than I was when I played. I'm broken down. I really don't care like I used to. I have a fight in me, but it's not the fight that I once had. But it'd be a pretty close game.
The plays of the day are presented by Lexus.
We go back to Wrigley Field for play number 3. Addison Russell flashing the leather, the diving stop, gets up on his feet, the one-hopper to get Troy Tulowitzki. Russell showing that shortstop's range. Great play there. We got more from Wrigley Field coming up.
Go back to Florida. Tampa, Detroit, hot shot to third. Evan Longoria, the great diving stack. From his knees gets Ian Kinsler. Check it out again here. Longoria along the chalk. And it's the Rays helping out the White Sox beating Detroit.
Now for number 1, who else but Chris Bryant? Oh, baby! Sends the fans spilling onto the streets in Wrigleyville. A 2-run game-winning homer after the Cub bullpen gave away a 3-run lead in the top of the 9th inning. Bryant's 14th homer of the season is his biggest yet in the majors. Cubs snap a 3-game losing streak in dramatic fashion, winning 9-8. And in this social media world, Twitter can be a beautiful thing. People were jumping off roofs, figuratively, saying that the season was over. And then Chris Bryant hits the home run, and all of a sudden, all is well for the Cubs. We've got another baseball doubleheader coming up here on Comcast Sportsnet tomorrow night, although we can't promise the drama we saw this evening. White Sox and Red Sox on the main channel at 6 o'clock. Cubs, Rockies on CSN Plus at 6:30, and of course they might end up on the main channel. Thank you so much for watching SportsNet Central, presented by GMC.
Of course, Samaj is supposed to start tomorrow night. We'll see indeed if that happens. Coming up next, Kip Lewis has a show that looks very similar to this, but it'll be way better than our. Yeah.
There's a problem.
Little Soria-esque performance here at times. No, I'm just kidding. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
There's a sound a ball makes when it catches nothing but net. Everyone loves that sound, that precision. At GMC, we get that. Nothing separates the men from the boys. Like nothing but net. This is precision. This is GMC. Now get over $6,500 total value on specially equipped 2015 Acadia models.
This is a great place to work, not because they have yoga meetings and a juice bar, because they're getting Comcast Business Internet. Comcast Business offers convenient installation appointments that work around your schedule, and it takes about an hour.
Get reliable internet that's up to 5 times faster than DSL from the phone company. Call 800-501-6000 to switch today.
Perks are nice, but the best thing you can give your business is Comcast Business.
Comcast Business, built for business.
I thought you measured.
I did measure it. Just take the cushions off.
They are off.
Moving is frustrating, but moving your DirecTV isn't. Simply call before you move, and we'll bundle DirecTV with internet and home phone services for one low price. With this added value, moving has never been more rewarding. The DirecTV Movers Deal. Call and ask about all the benefits today.
Hi gang, Poogie here. We're growing up the savings at Poogie in Downers Grove.
We've cut prices to the bone.
And we cook them low and slow.
Get a new Hyundai Santa Fe with 0% financing for 60 months or $1,500 to $2,250 cash back. Hit the Poogie price and save.
Come sink your teeth into a great deal.
The things at Poogie are delicious.
Buy a new car from Poogie can be a
beautiful thing, Grandpa.
Poogie, Poogie.
The National Sports Collectors Convention is the world's largest sports memorabilia show with 850 exhibitors and 90 high-profile athletes coming to the Stevens Convention Center July 29th through August 2nd. A great time for the entire family. Don't miss it. Visit nsccshow.com for show info. Visit CSNChicago.com for great deals on your favorite team's merchandise. From jerseys and hats to autographed memorabilia and more. Outfit yourself in your favorite team's gear and visit the fan shop at CSNChicago.com now. The Dan, the myth, the man.
Have fun.
The best of the Dan Patrick Show, weekdays on CSN Chicago.
Who's with me? Are you kidding me?
Come on this side of the glass and say that to me, you little punk.
I can't believe they let us do this show.
Catch the best of the Dan Patrick Show, weekdays at 4 on CSN Chicago.
Seriously, I can't.
I'm Tyler Flowers, and you're watching the home of White Sox baseball, CSN Chicago. You kind of learn as a starter that you circle those days you're starting, and everything is prepped around that.
With everyone else looking at the trade deadline on Friday, Jeff Samardzij's only thinking about today. Hey everyone, I'm Kip Lewis. This is SportsNet Central presented by CLR. Sox offense exploded early.
And that'll get the job done.
But was it enough to get a win in a slugfest against Boston? Could Kyle Hendricks help the Cubs get back on track in the wild card race? And will the Bears step up and pay Matt Forte again?
Matt Forte is going to be a rich man at the end of the season because of somebody else.
It was close, but no cigar. SportsNet Central starts right now.
Connected to SportsNet Central, presented by CLR.
We begin at Wrigley Field, where the Cubs were looking to rebound after being swept by the Phillies over the weekend. A solid outing by Kyle Hendricks against the Rockies would help the Northsiders' chances. The first of three with the Rockies. Cubs began the night 2.5 out of the final wild card spot. Hendricks on the mound for the Cubs, scoreless in the fourth. Man on for Carlos Gonzalez. He goes opposite field for a 2-run home run, his 6th home run in 5 games. Hendricks allowed 4 runs in 5+. 4-0 Rockies in the fourth. With 2 men on, Chris Bryant gets the Cubs' first hit off Jorge De La Rosa. Dexter Fowler scores. It's now 4-1. Later in the inning, bases loaded for Jorge Soler. He singles to right field. Cubs score another, pull within 2 runs after that. Later in the inning, now 4-3, 1 out. The slumping Starlin Castro with a single to left field. That scores 2. Cubs take the lead. It's 5-4. They weren't done in the fourth. Addison Russell up 2 batters later. He doubles down the left field line. The Cubs 6 runs in the fourth after scoring just 8 over the weekend against the Phillies. It's 6-4 Cubs after 4. Top of the 7th, now 7-4 Cubs. Troy Tulowitzki hits a sharp ground ball at the middle. Addison Russell makes the diving stop, throws out Tulowitzki at first. Take another look. Great play by Russell. Tulowitzki robbed of a hit. We got more on him and his situation a little bit later. 9th inning, Jason Mott in to close it out. Pinch hitter Daniel Descalso leading off the inning. He hits a solo shot to right field. Then, after Mott allowed another 2 hits, Rafael Soriano enters in relief. Cubs lead down to a run. Tying run 90 feet away, and Gonzalez goes deep for the 2nd time in the game. The Rockies with 4 runs in the 9th to take the lead. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs and a man on for Chris Bryant. That is what you call a little drama. Bryant with a walk-off home run off John Axford. The Cubs win a wild one 9-8 and snap a 3-game losing streak.
Wow, is that huge.
So not a great start for Kyle Hendricks, allowing those 4 runs and 7 hits in just 5 innings. The Cubs were 5 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Denorfian Castro also had 2 hits for the Northsiders, but the star of the night certainly has to be Chris Bryant. He had 2 hits and none bigger than that walk-off home run. Here's the skipper after the game.
You're always looking for those signs. I love the fight. I love the fact we played 9 innings. Again, completely giving up 4 in the top of the 9th. This can be devastating to most everybody, but our guys kept fighting. The base hit by Fowler was huge, obviously. Rossi hits the ball great, not far enough, and then KB hits a breaking ball homer. So what can I say? I mean, just, you know, we've given some of those things away. We almost gave one away again tonight. We grabbed their back. Moving along.
And stick around. We've got plenty more on the Cubs later in the show. We'll head back to Wrigley Field, where Kelly Krull has a full report on Chris Bryant's thrilling walk-off homer as the Cubs faithful gets sent home happy. Time now for a CSN News Alert. Shortly after the Cubs game against the Rockies went final, Colorado traded Troy Tulowitzki to the Toronto Blue Jays. Tulowitzki was in the Rockies lineup but was pulled from the game in the 9th before going 0 for 5. In return, the Rockies get Jose Reyes and minor leaguers. Well, the White Sox have been quiet leading up to Friday's trade deadline. The biggest name that likely will be sent packing is Jeff Samardzija. He met with reporters before Monday's game, explaining what it's like to play for a suddenly hot team that might be trying to trade him.
Each front office of every team, they have an idea of how they feel it's going. Sometimes the record doesn't totally show the situation of the team. So, I'm sure they assess that within amongst themselves and then go from there. So, all we can do is show up and play every day. We love how we've been playing. A little road trip here was against an Indians team. That was down a little bit on offense with some injuries, and then obviously everyone knows the status of this Boston team. So we need to come in and handle our business, and then when that comes, the deadline comes down the road, then you see where you're at.
So the Sox opening up a 4-game set in Boston. Adam Eaton back in the lineup after a day off Sunday. Starts the game off against Joe Kelly with a triple off the monster in left. Next pitch, Tyler Saladino with a shot down the first base line. That's going to be a triple for Saladino as well. It's the first time since 1954 the Sox top 2 hitters started a game off with triples. 1-0 good guys. Melky Cabrera keeps the hit parade going. He's going to double to left center. That brings home Saladino. Sox put up a 4 spot in the inning, but John Danks would give it right back. It's 4-3 in the second inning. Mookie Betts with a drive that goes off the green monster. That will bring home a run, and just like that, we are tied at 4. Jump ahead to the 5th. Game tied at 6. Ryan Hannigan with a chopper that should end the inning, but Saladino with a bad throw, his second error of the game. Run scores on the play, and it's now 7-6 in favor of the home team. Top of the 6th now. After a double by Carlos Sanchez, Eaton follows it up with a double of his own into the left center field gap. Sanchez scores, and we're tied again at 7. Now to the 7th. The offense keeps rolling. Tyler Flowers lines one up the middle for a base hit. J.B. Shuck will score, and the Sox regain the lead.
The throw is off the mark.
Then, 2 batters later, it is going to be Eaton again. He lines a shot down the third base line. Flowers scores. Eaton, though, thrown out at second, going for the double. It's a 9-7 game, and Eaton is now just a home run shy of the cycle. So top of the 9th, Sox rally to get Eaton another at bat, a chance for the cycle. But strikes out looking to end the inning. Boston will pick up a run in the 9th, but the Sox win at 10-8 with David Robertson getting the save. The Sox offense with a season-high 9 extra base hits. So the White Sox have scored 10 or more runs 3 times this season, twice within the last 3 games. As mentioned, they had 9 extra base hits in this win, 7 doubles and 2 triples. The once dormant offense pounded out 14 hits. Adam Eaton was 3 for 6. John Danks didn't last long, just 4 1/3 innings, allowing 9 hits and 6 earned runs. The White Sox have now won 5 straight.
Scored 10 and 11 the last 2 days or so. Coming out and getting some hits. Melky's getting hot. A lot of guys are starting to swing the bats well, hitting the ball hard, and we're catching some more breaks. I think early on we haven't we didn't catch any breaks early on, and now we're starting to find holes, starting to drive some guys in with 2 outs. So it's been good the last couple, week and a half or so.
Time now to go around the majors. Braves at the Orioles. Baltimore entered action 3.5 games out of the wild card. Scoreless game in the 9th until Adonis Garcia takes Orioles closer Zach Britton deep to right. Just like that, Braves up 1-0. Bottom half with runners on the corners. J.J. Hardy lines to left. Adam Jones going to tag, and is he going to beat the throw? Yep, score tied at 1. They go to extras. Leading off the bottom of the 11th, Matt Wieters crushes one to right center. It gets out. The walk-off gives the Orioles the 2-1 win. Yankees taking on the Rangers in Arlington. Down 2-0 in the 3rd, but Didi Gregorius changes that. He takes Matt Harrison deep to right, a 2-run jack ties the game up. Yanks up 3-2. Alex Rodriguez at the plate in the 6th. A-Rod celebrating his 40th birthday in style. An opposite field homer puts the Yankees up 4-2. Top 7 now. More from Gregorius. 2 on. He takes the first pitch he sees from Sam Freeman into right field. That scores a pair. Yankees, they win it 6-2. Tigers and the Rays at the Trop. Miguel Cabrera getting some batting practice in as he's working his way back from a calf strain. Bottom third, no score. Kurt Caselli blasts one to left off Anibal Sanchez. Rays up early 1-0. Bottom of the 8th, Tampa up 3-2. Caselli strikes again, towering 2-run shot down the line and left. Rays go on to win it 5-2. So here's a look at the AL wildcard picture. At the moment, Houston has a 2-game lead on Minnesota for the top spot in the wildcard. Toronto and Baltimore are both 3 games back of the second spot. The White Sox sit just 4.5 games back, but with 5 teams to jump to get into the playoffs. Well, the Hawks may be closer to keeping one of their key cup winners, while the captain gets an unexpected surprise while on vacation in Machu Picchu. And it's time for the Bears to pay Forte again, but will they? And will John Fox lead the Bears to a winning season? We have fact or fiction coming up. And plenty more on the dramatic walk-off win for the Cubs at Wrigley Field. You're connected to SportsNet Central.
Do you have tough cleaning jobs around your house? Calcium deposits, lime, rust stains, yuck. Well, clean up fast with CLR. CLR's powerful formula blasts through tough cleaning problems inside and outside the house. It tackles buildup on shower heads, even coffee pots. And CLR has an EPA designed for the environment seal, so it's safer for your family and the planet. CLR, tough on yuck, gentle on everything else.
CLR is available at these fine stores.
White Sox fans, summer is finally here, and your Sox have some great promotions for you. Grab your cowboy hat and boots and join us for Country Music Night on Friday, July 31st. Dust off your blue suede shoes and don't miss Elvis Night on Friday, August 28th. Show your Irish pride and dress green for Halfway to St. Patrick's Day on Saturday, September 12th. Great seats are available starting at only $20. Visit whitesox.com/summer today.
Endless apps are back. All your Friday's favorites and a couple of new ones. Just $10 while it lasts. So dig in and repeat. And every day's a happy Friday.
Tonight, New England's buzzing as our Sox and their Sox square off under Fenway's fabled lights. Tune in from home and don't miss every hit, homer, and highlight. White Sox versus Red Sox, starting at 6 on CSN.
Flashback to October 23rd, 2005. Paul Konerko's historic 7th-inning grand slam in Game 2 of the World Series. Goosebumps? Yes. Twitter? Nope. Didn't exist. But if it did, you would have that moment in GIFs, tweets, and more GIFs forever. Now, if something like that happens this year, at CSN White Sox, we'll bring you the moment it happens. And at this moment, follow Insider at CSN Hayes.
What's a saucer pass to deep, high sliding, shoots, butterflies, 18, fouls over, rebound, score! Duck and King! The Hawks take a 1-0 lead on the Lightning. And Saad escapes with a puck over the Lightning line, left wing, drop pass, Richards closes in, put it across, he scores! It's Patrick Kane with his first goal in the final! It's 2-0 Hawks with 5:14 left in the third! And this crowd can smell it for the third time in 6 seasons! It's one goal achieved! The Chicago Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup!
Time now for everyone's favorite game. Where is the Stanley Cup? Well, it made the trek back to the U.S. over the weekend from Finland. Patrick Sharp previously had it in his wife's home state of Connecticut. Brad Richards, along with his wife and son, picked up the cup in Rhode Island and flew to Richards' home province of Prince Edward Island. Jonathan Toews hasn't had his day with the cup just yet, but the captain is doing his own travels. In fact, he was all the way out in Machu Picchu when he was spotted by a Blackhawks fan and local Chicagoland native. And how about the pick the fan gets as a keepsake? We wish you could see it. Oswego's Ryan Adderjohn was hiking at one of the 7 wonders of the world, the ruins of Machu Picchu, when he spotted Toews. I'm guessing he was a bit surprised by the sighting. Adderjohn said Toews suggested that the group take a picture with the ruins in the background. Well, Marcus Kruger has won 2 Stanley Cups with the Blackhawks, and according to an ESPN report, the 25-year-old forward would be willing to do a short-term deal to stay with the team. Kruger has been in negotiations and would like a long-term contract, but the Hawks currently don't have enough salary cap space to accommodate his wishes. The 2015 Bears report to training camp in Bourbonnais on Wednesday. This will be a vastly different looking team than what we saw last year from a personnel standpoint. With more, here's Pat Boyle.
Time to play a little fact or fiction Bears style. From The Score and WBBM, sideline reporter Zach Zaidman, and from WGN Radio, Adam Hogue. Fact or fiction, guys, Jay Cutler will commit the fewest turnovers in his career this season under Fox and Gase.
Fact, if you're talking about a 16-game season, I just don't think there's going to be an opportunity for Jay Cutler to put the ball in the air as much as he has the last couple of seasons. I think the offense is going to be a lot more balanced, and I think that when you talk about what Adam Gase brings to this Bears program, it's all about the ability to maximize what you have as offensive personnel. And because you have Matt Forte, Kevin White, Martellus Bennett, Alshon Jeffrey, and Eddie Royal, I just don't think you're going to see the craziness that we saw last season with the Bears.
Yeah, I agree with Zach. I think this is fact, and I think it's for a lot of the same reasons he said. I mean, there's going to be a lot more protection built in for Jay Cutler into this offense, and I don't mean necessarily just the offensive line. I'm just talking about the way the plays will be called and the way this offense will be run. And given the options he has, I think the idea here is kind of what the Cowboys did last year with Tony Romo. I don't know if that success will be replicated, but I think that's the general idea.
All right, fact or fiction, this will be Matt Forte's final season with the Bears.
Fact. You have to think that any time a running back hits 30, no matter how good he is, almost always those running backs are let go, especially in this new NFL. Matt Forte is going to be a rich man at the end of the season because of somebody else. I don't necessarily think it's going to be because of the Bears.
Yeah, I think fact two. I don't necessarily think it's the smartest thing for the Bears. I think it would have been a good idea to maybe lock him up for another 2 years if that's possible. I don't really know what Matt Forte's seeking there, but I think it's going to be another successful season for Matt Forte. And I think with a new regime here and the age that he's at, I think chances are Matt Forte is moving on, and this will be his last season.
Fact or fiction, the Bears will have more than 7 victories when it's all said and done this season.
Fiction. I don't think that you can make that dramatic an improvement considering you can't fix everything that was wrong with the Bears last season, and you're still in a division with Aaron Rodgers. The Bears have proven that they have a very difficult time beating the Packers. Minnesota is an ascending team, and they get one of the best offensive players in football back. And you're talking about year 2 in the system in Detroit under Jim Caldwell. Going to be very difficult for the Bears to take that next step.
I say fiction too, and that's because I think it's going to be a 7-9 season. I think they hit that 7 wins right on the dot. Look, I think the new coaching staff is worth at least 2 wins. This is a team that still won 5 games last year, and really, if you look at how bad things got, that's kind of a miracle they won 5 games last season. So that tells me the talent is still there, especially offensively, to win some football games. I think the new coaching staff helps a little bit. They at least get to 7 wins, but I'm thinking it's going to be right around 7-9.
Our thanks to Adam Hogue and Zach Zaidman. We'll talk to you guys in Bourbonnais.
Chris Bryant is batting under 200 for the month of July, but he came through with his biggest hit in the majors. A 2-out, 2-run blast off John Axford in the bottom of the 9th, giving the Cubs a stunning 9-8 walk-off win. With more on the Cubs win, Kelly Krell has your press pass from Wrigley Field.
It's got to be one of the best feelings in sports.
With one swing of the bat, Chris Bryant turned disgust into elation after the Cubs bullpen blew a 9th-inning lead. The rookie's 14th home run of the season and first ever Major League walk-off homer helped the Cubs snap a 3-game losing streak.
I think it kind of just wakes us up a little bit. I think we were kind of nonchalant the last couple games, myself included, but that energy of a walk-off, win, walk-off home run, I think that's going to pay, for us moving forward and just kind of spark that energy that we had earlier in the year.
It's such a flip in the standings and where you're at and what you're thinking mentally. It's all of that stuff. Those are the kind of losses late. When you're losing games late, that's the most difficult to recapture or get back from that particular moment within a clubhouse. And the fact that we could take one back really is going to, everybody's going to walk in feeling a whole lot better tomorrow. It's a crazy game that we play.
Bryant, who came in hitting 125 since the All-Star break, got the Cubs on the board in the 6-run 4th inning and capped the 9-run outburst with the towering blast into the bleachers and possibly skyrocketing his team in the same direction.
Our outburst absolutely was necessary against De La Rosa. The walk starts with Fowler and Schwarber. That 6-run inning, we definitely needed that. There's no question, and that made us feel a whole lot better.
I mean, the last 3 or 4 games, I think I've hit 5 or 6 out to the warning track, and that's obviously frustrating, but I believe in baseball gods, and I believe they pay you back, and I guess I got one today, so worked out for us. It was a really good win, that's for sure.
And while the 9 runs was the most Madden's club has scored since June 17th, new Cubs reliever Rafael Soriano struggled once again. And with the trade deadline looming, it could be an interesting week here on the north side. With the Cubs at Wrigley Field, I'm Kelly Crawl for Comcast Sportsnet.
All right, thanks, Kelly. Before Monday's ball game, Kyle Schwarber was working bright and early, the rookie catcher, taking part in a game of wiffle ball as the Cubs on the move fitness trolley made its stop at John Elementary School on the north side. Schwarber says it's all to keep kids active and moving in the summertime and to play every day.
I actually went to a few of the Cincinnati Reds camps, and they'd have the Barry Larkins, the Ken Griffey Juniors, Jay Bruce of the world. They'd all come out, and you get wide-eyed. And but now that I'm here, it's my job to help these kids have fun, and whatever I can do, and if I can do that in any way, if I can make a positive on their life today, it'll be a good win today.
The White Sox bats have come alive over their 5-game winning streak. More on whether the Southsiders are contenders when we come back.
I hate cleaning the gutters. Have you touched the stuff? It's evil. And ladders. They have all those warnings on them. Might as well say, "You're gonna die, Jeff." You hired someone to clean the gutters.
Not just someone. Angie's List helped me find a highly rated service provider to do the work at a fair price.
Everyone can shop, but members get more with reviews, live customer support, and better pricing. Visit Angie'sList.com.